Have you ever had a day where you thought, wow, I handled that beautifully? You stayed calm, you listened, you didn't shout, you even surprised yourself. But then 2 days later, you snap over something very tiny, you raise your voice, you lose your cool, you react in a way you promised yourself that you wouldn't. Then suddenly the thought comes, see, I haven't changed at all. I haven't grown up as a parent. If you ever failed, then this episode is for you, my dear friends, because your growth as parent is not linear. It's layered, it's seasonal, and it's sometimes messy. Welcome back to Simplified Parenting with Suhasni, and I'm your host Suhasni, a parenting coach, a child psychologist, and a fellow parent like you all in this journey called parenting. We always believe in a secret myth that once you learn something, you will always do better in that particular area. And you think parenting is also like that. You listen to a podcast, you read a book, you attend a workshop, and then you want to become a calm, perfect Zen parent. But, my dear friends, growth in parenting does not look like climbing a straight staircase. It looks like you take two steps forward, one emotional reaction, a moment of reflection, a conversation that needs to be repaired, and then you move forward. It's still progress. Let us talk about a very familiar scenario which happens in most of the households. It's a homework time. You tell yourself that today, I'm not going to become the homework dictator or homework master, which your child might think about you. So you start in a very calm and composed manner. You tell your child, take your time, how many ever doubts you have, how many ever times you didn't understand it. You let me know, I'll explain you. But after time passes, after repeated distractions, and after you realize that dinner is getting late and you need to go into the kitchen to prepare the dinner, and your energy is getting drained off, your tone shifts. And then you start snapping at your child. Later that night, when you lie down on your bed, your guilt starts showing up. I thought I wanted to work this homework time in a better way. I had worked on this a lot. But still, why did I snap today? And these are thoughts that keep coming to you in your brain again and again. But pause for a second. Last year, maybe you wouldn't have noticed your tone. Last week, you would have felt snapping at your child during the homework time is justifiable. But today, you are feeling uncomfortable after snapping and you're trying to reflect. That discomfort, that awareness is what is called growth. Growth is not perfection, it's increased consciousness, my dear friends. Today, the parenting growth feels performative, especially with the social media presence. In social media, we see calm parents, emotionally articulate children, peaceful homes, and we think, I should be there by now. I'm still struggling with so many issues. And you start getting depressed. But remember, my dear friends, you're not comparing your hardest moments to somebody else's hardest moments, but you're trying to compare them with someone else's curated highlights. And that is where the difference comes. Your growth is private. It happens in quiet conversations, in small pauses, in subtle tone changes. And those matter deeply to you and to your children as well. So, here is something very important that we all should remember. Parenting triggers often start happening because of our own childhood wiring. You may know what calm parenting looks like, but when your child shouts, resists, or pushes you back, your nervous system reacts even before your wisdom does. Because you are not just parenting your child, you are managing your own emotional history too. Rewiring patterns takes repetition, and repetition includes setbacks. Growth is not about never reacting, it's about reacting differently over time. Let us talk about one of those days, the tired days, the overstimulated days, the everything is too much days, or the days where you just want to lie down on your bed. Obviously, you'll start raising your voice, you feel disappointed in yourself, and you think, I've undone everything I've learned so far. But children don't measure you by one moment, my dear friends. They measure you by your patterns. One impatient evening does not cancel 100 connected ones. And here is the powerful part. When you go back and say, I shouldn't have shouted, I was overwhelmed. You model emotional responsibility. Repair is not weakness, but in fact, it's called advanced parenting. Parenting growth is like physical exercise. First few days, you feel really motivated. Then you miss a day, you feel sore. You then question why you have started this exercise actually. But over months, you become stronger, you become more flexible. In the same way, growth as a parent is cumulative, not consecutive. You don't have to get it right every single time to be evolving. These are the signs that showcase that you're actually growing as a parent. You pause before reacting, even if it's just for 2 seconds or 5 seconds. You reflect after conflict instead of blaming your child. You apologize more easily than before to your child, or even to your partner. You you question patterns you grew up with. You seek learning instead of staying defensive. And here is the last sign: you care enough to wonder if you are growing. That concern itself is a marker of the growth. Growth is not a straight line, it's spiral. You revisit the same triggers, same themes, same challenges, but each time you handle them with slightly more awareness. And that slightly more is everything. So, if this month ends you with the feeling a little tired, a little more aware, still imperfect, but slightly softer, that is not regression. That is growth of you as an individual as well as a parent. You are not meant to be a flawless parent, you are meant to be a growing one. And the fact that you reflect, repair, and return to connection tells me something very important, that you are evolving. And that is more than enough. So that's all, my dear friends, for today's episode. Take care and keep smiling and keep growing as a parent. We'll meet you next week with another episode. Take care then. Bye bye.